That's right. I'm standing. That's right. I got 2 brand new standing desks because I just can't take sitting down no more. It has made my back soft as cotton and I'm done with it. I'd say I've been doing YouTube for about 40 years now, and I have not sat on my ass so much in my life. Not even in prison was I sitting down so much. Crazy to think, right? One thing's for sure and 2 things for certain. If you want to become a YouTuber or a gamer, you're going to be doing a lot of damn sitting. Unless, like me, I got me some standing desks. I can elevate and lower at any given time I want. But from now on, I'll be standing. It's cool because I can really interact with y'all now. And especially when I play Call of Duty, I like to move in IRL, which means in real life, for anybody that doesn't know the gaming lingo. But now I can bob and weave and roll around on the floor and shit like I'm really out there in the field. And this is not the permanent spot where everything's going to be if you can't tell by the background. I just hooked everything up so I can make y'all a video today. But what do you say we get into it? That was a long enough intro. I do apologize. For my day oneers, I got to give them a little breakdown. Anyways, we got Sheriff Grady Judd up on the playlist today. And today we're going to watch him get into a heated discussion with a reporter. And those of y'all that know, when he holds a press conference, it's a little extra. Rather entertaining to say the least, but this one goes a little different because the reporter, I guess, is asking questions he don't want to hear. And I might have a couple other clips to go with this. I'm not sure. Depends on how long it is, but let's get right into it. Tap that like, subscribe, notification bell if you enjoy. Hide those stolen horses in the stables. Sheriff Grady Judd is on the scene. Integrity, compassion, accountability, professionalism. Sheriff Grady Judd.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with us, or the good afternoon. Thank you for being with us today.
Good afternoon, sir.
There's some things in life that's got to be true because you just can't make it up.
Did you hear that Star-Spangled Banner of a quote? Let's rewind it because I already forgot. That shit was classic.
Being with us today. There's some things in life that's got to be true because you just can't make it up. So I want to introduce you to a young man who's 32 years of age, and he's old enough to know better, Christopher Hendricks.
Damn, Chris.
Now, if you don't know Christopher, you ought to take a look at him.
Old enough to know better.
There's a lot of people that got to meet him this morning around I-4 and 557 at the Marathon gas station. This is a picture of Christopher. It's a very nice picture.
Damn! Chris, what the hell did you do to get on Judd's radar? At least he's complimenting your mugshot.
This is a picture of Christopher. It's a very nice picture in his state prison outfit. You see,
oh my God.
He was sentenced to 10 years in state prison for aggravated battery, which was a plea down from attempted murder. He did his full sentence, which with gain time comes up to about almost 8 years, and was released. Apparently he behaved, or at least he was not caught, for 3 years. So let's fast forward to this morning. This morning at 7:45, he is on Interstate 4, and he's involved in a hit and run crash.
Damn, Chris.
That's right. He crashes his vehicle that's registered to him, and as he runs off of the road into the swampy area in his vehicle,
at least it was registered to him.
Christopher says to himself, "Self, I don't think I want to hang around for this," so he runs. I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish because the vehicle was registered to Christopher Hendricks.
I don't know what he was trying to accomplish because the vehicle was registered to Christopher Hendricks. Well, let me break it down for you, Mr. Grady Judd. First off, let me congrat Mr. Christopher for having a car registered in his name. Seems like he was trying to do something right, because most guys, especially ones that are on the run or been to prison and they're still doing shit on the streets, they don't care if the car's registered to them. So at least he attempted to follow the law in some way, shape, or form with the vehicle. But this is to what the sheriff said. He said, why would he do that if the vehicle is registered to his name? It's very simple. Well, first off, if he's on the run, he just doesn't want to get caught. And second of all, it's very easy to leave the scene, especially if you're drunk, because then it would be a DUI. That's an extra felony. So that's the second reason why he might have run. He could be under the influence of some pills, alcohol, anything. And he's a felon, so that's just going to pile up time upon time. I went to prison for the second time over a DUI on probation. I wasn't even doing hit and runs or nothing. I didn't have dirty urines. I didn't have nothing. All I got was a damn drunk in public and a DUI. But you can't bring back fresh charges. That is a violation. Now, third and most importantly, people don't seem to realize this. Even if you're not drunk or anything like that and you get into a car accident, you freak out, you hit and run. You just did 10 years in prison, you're on probation, and you just committed a hit and run. Me personally, if I was in his position, I would do the exact same thing. I would ditch the car somewhere. If anything, I would report it stolen. It wasn't me, bro. Prove it. I'm a convict, man. I live in the hood. People steal cars all the time. I'm just saying. And even if I didn't live in the hood, that's how I would say it. So there's all kinds of reasons, Mr. Judd, why the guy would leave the scene even if the vehicle was registered to him. Chances are he was probably riding dirty and the cops were about to come because it was an accident. Of course he's gonna run, man. Anyways, that's henceforth. That was a long spiel.
He's from Bellevue, Florida, which is in the area of Ocala. Well, now Christopher is on foot. He's fleeing on foot from this hit and run crash he's involved in that the Highway Patrol is working. And he runs up to the Marathon gas station on 557, which is just south of the interstate. And he's tried to steal this lady's vehicle, her gray Chevy Colorado pickup truck. Well, she didn't think much of that. In fact, she was in the process of gassing her vehicle when he tried to get in, so she appropriately took the gas nozzle and sprayed him with gasoline.
Oh, shit. Zoolander action. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'd probably do the same damn thing. He better hope to God I ain't smoking a ciggy.
Christopher rethought that. He decided that that was not the vehicle that he wanted, so he fled.
Getting doused
he
with
ran
freaking
immediately
gas.
to a burgundy-colored van that was there. And, of course, the owner was not in the van, but he was up at the store. The owner said to himself, I believe Christopher Hendricks is trying to steal my van. So the man who has a concealed weapons permit promptly pulled out his firearm and extracted Christopher from his vehicle at gunpoint.
You gotta be very careful, all you criminals out there. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of average Joes carrying firearms nowadays. But can you imagine that? You jump into a van, the guy might not be in the van. You don't think anything of it, no one's gonna hurt you. You're not hurting nobody, and he comes around the corner and blasts your ass. I'm gonna tell you like this, being a former thief, I kept shit like that in the back of my head, but I never in a million years thought it would actually happen to me. And I'm guessing that's how he was thinking. He was moving on adrenaline, and next thing you know,
he would have been totally justified if he'd have shot Christopher, but he didn't want to do that, and Christopher complied and got out of the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
So that's two vehicles that he tried to tap.
Damn.
So Christopher decides that at this point in his excitement that he should probably flee from this particular location because these folks from Polk County, Florida were not in the mood to have their car stolen or jacked from them this morning. So what does he do? He starts and he runs down the side of the embankment and he jumps onto the westbound traffic of the interstate.
Damn.
Well, there's a fellow driving a box truck. That fellow says to himself, I really don't want to run over Christopher Hendricks, who has just jumped into the westbound traffic of Interstate 4.
That dude's
and
tripping.
If that's not a suicidal move, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
he
he's
slams on brakes. He is rewarded with his efforts by being rear-ended by a semi. So now we have another crash.
This guy's wreaking havoc.
Christopher sees that he's created another kerfuffle. So he flees and he runs to the other side of the westbound traffic.
Kerfuffle? What the hell is that? I've never heard that phrase before in my life. I should look it up. But I'm not going to. I'll take Mr. Judd's word for it. It's logical and perfectly sound word.
Where a very nice person driving a green pickup truck has stopped to help.
Oh, shit.
So he tries to get in that vehicle.
Damn.
Well, that fella doesn't think too much about that as well, and he's got his doors locked so he can't get in there. Is Christopher deterred? No, he's not deterred. So he goes to the fourth vehicle. That is another Good Samaritan who stopped on the interstate to try to help in a red Chevy Equinox. He tried to get in that vehicle, That victim grabbed his keys out of his vehicle and he ran. Well, all during this time, people are dialing 911 and our deputies are frantically trying to run in emergency mode to get there. But if you're familiar with this particular area, it's kind of out in the countryside on the interstate. And we take Christopher Hendricks into custody. And we put Christopher Hendricks in handcuffs in the back of our car. He is not pleased. Christopher Hendricks tries to escape. He kicks the back windows out of the patrol car in an effort to escape.
This dude's
Not only was he going to escape, he was going to steal our handcuffs too. We didn't appreciate that very much.
Hey, you be taking their necklaces? Shit. Why can't they have your wristbands?
So finally, we've got Christopher Hendricks wrestled under control and locked up in the county jail. But first and foremost, I want to thank the two people at the Marathon Station, what I call wonderful people from Polk County, who said, Christopher, you're not going to steal my truck. You already tore your own truck up. And then when he ran down into the interstate, people trying to help, he tried to steal their car, and they go, you're not stealing our vehicle. And they resisted him. And ultimately, he was arrested. I have absolutely no idea what this guy was thinking. But it was evident this morning he might have had 5 brain cells. 3 of them weren't working.
Damn, Judd.
He's locked up in the county jail. The Highway Patrol is assisting. They're doing the vehicle crashes. They will coordinate with and continue to work with our detectives and deputies as we solidify all of the various felony charges against him. Our goal is to send him back to state prison for an extended period of time because it's painfully evident to us that the community's not safe when he's at large.
I mean, with all the felonies they're going to lace him up with, it's going to be over 100 years. But they'll probably make a plea bargain for like 40 or 50. No, I'd say probably 30. 20 to 30.
Now, I know probably his parents will think this is a low-level, nonviolent misdemeanor, and he really didn't mean it, and he's sorry, and he's very sorry, and he didn't mean it, and he won't do it again until he does it again. But that's not the way the rest of us think in the system. The rest of us understand him for what he is. He's a dangerous man. Are there any questions?
All right, things are about to get heated.
Involved, specifically the victims were lucky this morning, and you mentioned he could have been shot, so perhaps you could argue he's lucky too, right?
Sure, it was a lucky day for him. He was not injured in the car crash. She didn't set him on fire when she sprayed him with gas. The man who owned the other car, while he was committing forcible felonies, had every right to shoot him and didn't. He only used enough force to get him out of his vehicle and on his way.
He had every right to shoot him, he says. You know, every time I hear stuff like that, it just solidifies the fact that if I lived in Florida, I never would have went to prison.
So he was as fortunate as our victims were. Yes, our victims were fortunate.
For property crime, why do you say he would have been justified in killing him?
Well, because that is...
Oh, that's a question right there. He said if it was just a property crime when he was trying to steal the person's vehicle, he wasn't in the vehicle. He was just trying to steal his property. Why would it have been justified for the man to come and shoot him? Very plausible question. You know, you don't want to be giving out the impression that, hey, you just run up and shoot someone just because they're stealing your car. I don't think that's how it works. I think there's a few laws in other states too. Let's say someone breaks into your house and they're fleeing. They're like running out your house because you called them, and you shoot them in the back in your front yard. You can very well get in trouble for that in some states.
That is a... First off, he tried a carjacking with a lady. And then he was doing a burglary of a vehicle, and he was in the string of a group of felonies at the time.
But the guy with the registered firearm doesn't know all that, right? Of course, when it goes to trial, he would probably find out about it, and he'd be like, okay, yeah, I actually did the community a good thing. But he doesn't know that he's did all this stuff. So if he were to shoot him and he didn't do any of that, it wouldn't be justified, would it? I could see how it's justified if he tried to beat up and carjack a few people around the guy, and then he went to his car and tried to take it. But if he just showed up to the scene and the guy's walking out of Walmart and he sees him in his van, you can't just run up on him and start blasting him, man. You can't do that. At least I'm not going to do that, because I feel like I'm going to get tricked up in the courtroom somehow.
That sounds pretty shaky.
It is if you're the suspect.
The reporter said that sounds pretty shaky. It is if you're the suspect. Damn, man, here we go.
I guarantee you, when you start trying to carjack somebody's car at a gas station, you're subject to get shot, and shot a lot.
Did he have a weapon?
She doesn't have to have a weapon, brother. You can carjack with just pure violence and force.
Stealing a car.
He was trying to carjack the First Lady. She was gassing up.
With a gun owner.
It's all the same thing. It's all the same event.
You know, the reporter does bring up a good point, because it's like us watching debate car episodes, right? We do debate car episodes, they steal the car, but what if someone came out their house, ran down on them, and gunned everyone down in the debate car? Even though they were not being violent towards them and they weren't in their house, they were just out in the parking lot stealing your car. You cannot go out there and just gun them all down. That's not how it works, man.
The other guy was armed. You don't look at individual events. You look at the string of violent felonies he was committing. And that's a violent felony, to try to take somebody's car from them with force, with or without a weapon. And you're sending the wrong message. The message is, you don't have to have a firearm. You don't have to have a knife to be a dangerous individual. And if you come to this county, and if you use extreme violence to try to carjack somebody from their car, if you get shot, that's on you. You can protect yourself and your property.
I think some attorneys would disagree with you, but you're the sheriff, so.
I don't care. That's what the attorneys do. Attorney's attorney. But I can tell you right now, you come to this county and you do this string of violent stuff, you're blessed. You're blessed, because that man up at that store had the right to protect himself. He had the right to protect his property. He had the right to protect that lady. That lady had the right to protect herself and her property. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? And then he goes down to the interstate, causes a crash, tries to break in and steal 2 more cars while they're occupied. While they're occupied. You don't think there's a problem with that?
And you got to keep in mind, a lot of countries, man, you go steal anything from them, they're going to kill your ass. Christopher's a very lucky individual, jumping onto the interstate, stopping cars, trying to steal cars. He's very lucky, especially in Florida, that he ain't get gunned to hell down. But I would love to hear y'all's input on this whole situation. And there's another video out there of him that I want to react to. It's a music video. I'm not going to react to the whole video, just the piece with him in it. But I think it's like You Can't Run from Grady or something like that. Shit's crazy as hell, man. But let me know how you feel about this video in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out the links in the description of the video. Add me up on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I salute to every last one of you been supporting me since the beginning. And everybody who's just now joining the lockdown compound. Y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.